I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm
I'm
doing.
forest bathing at the moment. Everything's
You are
cool.
what?
Forest bathing.
Forest bathing. I am scattered because I didn't know if I was going to start this stream on time, and I'd hate to let the people down and not start it on time. Uh, there's this weird white stuff on the ground outside, which has not been here the entire winter, which
That
was
sounds terrible.
surprising.
You,
No,
you
it's
should
not
probably
terrible.
move.
It's the if you don't like the white stuff, maybe. But the fellas are down there. They're still loading my trim work that's going into my garage right now. So I'm just, if I keep looking out the window, I'm going to just make sure that they're, not running anything over and everything's good. So that's what's going on with me. How about you? You're in the forest?
Yeah, I've been studio mode, making a bunch of videos. Some of them are about Xerox.
I love it. Xerox. Right, right. Xerox. We've got a special guest today, don't we?
I love it when we have special guests.
I love it when we have special guests too. Let's bring the special guest on. We have Mr. Michael Quigley. Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you?
Doing
Happy Friday.
fantastic. Happy Friday to you too. Thanks for popping into Zrok, Ziti TV so quickly. I know I only asked you like 30 minutes ago. I'm like, hey, we're gonna do Zrok. Are you free? And you said, yeah, I'm free. So
I'm
that's
always
cool.
free for Xerox. So,
Always free for Zrok. I love it. Love it. Well, you are the genesis of Zrok. Do you want to tell us what Zrok is in your own words?
sure. So, Xerox is a peer-to-peer open source sharing platform. It was inspired by tools like ngrok and a lot of the other crop of similar low-level network sharing tools. And Xerox does a lot of the same stuff, but it's built on top of OpenZiti. So it has a bunch of powerful private sharing models that those tools don't. Or they manifest slightly differently in those tools. But we've got some things that we think are pretty special in Xerox. One of the interesting things coming up is it's going to be growing into more of an end user sharing tool also. So we're going to have some really interesting stuff coming up with drives and as well as the other direction, having some more low level UDP and TCP tunneling, that kind of stuff. So it's a convenient tool for sharing things quickly and easily, basically, and it's built on top of OpenZiti.
Yeah, that's really cool. And when you say drives, what do you mean by drives? I did see, if nobody is aware or if people aren't aware, there's a roadmap out there. You can go and look at the roadmap. And I do remember seeing something about drives recently. I don't know if it was a pull request or if it was on the roadmap or whatever. What's a drive mean?
So I think the drives name is new as of this week. So
Dripping wet. Love
right.
it.
So that's actually in a blog post that's going to be coming out for the roadmap for the 0.4 release of Xerox, which will be the next major release. But drives is basically decentralized. Think Google Drives, think Dropbox, that sort of thing. Decentralized, built right into Xerox. So you're going to have convenient, peer-to-peer, decentralized file storage, that kind of stuff. Want to build a big giant Google Drives implementation of your own? Do it on top of Xerox. Want to share something quickly with other people? You can do it at any scale, basically. But it's an infrastructure for doing that. And then in the future, when we get to 0.5 and beyond, we're going to have a bunch of end user tooling also that will make that really easy to use right on your desktop, that kind of stuff. So,
well, that's exciting. That's really neat. And actually, what I should do, I should go to zrok.io and I should bring that onto the screen here. Let's see. And we can see Ziggy floating away. Actually, let's go to maybe this view right here. Get us all, including Ziggy, up at the top of the screen. So if you haven't been to zrok.io, you can go out there and check out Ziggy floating around. It's a really nice, beautiful website Mr. Finger has created. You can learn about Zrok down here. And one of the things that's important to note right now is that Zrok is still in a kind of an open beta, meaning if you want to try Zrok, you just need to send us an email to, I think it's invite@zrok.io. Is that correct? Do I have that right? Yeah.
yeah.
And then we'll give you a token and you'll invite yourself using Zrok invite using your token. And then you'll have this really cool, really easy sharing platform at your fingertips, which is really nice. And I think the reception has been, it's been what we hoped for, I think. We have a tremendous number of GitHub stars, those likes that we all desire. The feedback, I think, is pretty good. I know I have used it myself quite a few times. Honestly, it really is just dreadfully easy to use. I was able to self-host my own Xerox instance, which was really cool. all based on OpenZD. And I did that myself because I wanted to learn it. So it's really really simple, really easy, and it's been I think it's awesome. So that's cool.
Yeah, I was going to mention that it's, if you can't wait for the limited, for your spot in the invite, there's always self-hosting and open source.
Yeah,
So
it's a real good point. I was going to bring that up and I forgot, and then I just kind of mentioned it in passing there. But yeah, it totally is totally doable. What is it about? What was the your favorite part of Xerox? What was something that stands out to you? Because I know you're going to do like what we call design notebooks at some point,
yeah,
right? So is there something that's in the top of your brain that says, "Oh, this was really fun or really exciting or really neat"?
honestly, as a developer, the thing that I like the most about working on Xerox, the thing that I enjoyed the most about building it, is that it's truly a very small, self-contained, full stack implementation, right? So it ships as a single binary, and in that single binary, you literally have the entire API, the UI, the control plane, the end user client. You've got literally every single piece of tooling you need to ever interact with Xerox, including some testing tools and things. And it's all packaged up as a single binary. So it's literally the simplest distribution model imaginable, which, we can take that and turn it into Docker containers and that kind of stuff like Ken's already working on. And,
Ooh, a little hint about what's to come.
yeah. So there's that kind of stuff. But honestly, that's my favorite thing about working on it. It's, obviously I'm a Go developer. I love Go. The front end is all React. It's, it's open API, all the typical stuff, but it's just very nice that it all sort of sits in one nicely self-contained universe. And I'm sure that'll grow over time and that model will get more complicated and that sort of stuff. But for now, that's probably the thing I enjoyed the most. That and the fact that, building on top of OpenZD, made so many things that would be terribly difficult to implement building a tool like Xerox much, much easier. So I literally didn't have to worry about, secure point-to-point connectivity or anything like that. It's just taking all those OpenZD primitives, adding a smart opinionated control plane on top of it, and bam, you got Xerox basically.
Yeah, that's really cool. Um, Ken, do you have anything that you want? I see you smiling over there.
I'm just I mean I'm just lighting up because of what Michael is saying about it making it easy to build something really cool, easier to build something really cool. That's what I hope people eventually realize about OpenZD is just that it offloads some really hard networking problems and makes it easier for a developer to focus on building something really cool and just using that as a foundation.
Yeah, and we started calling these things something that I had to wrap my own head around recently, which is a ZD native application, right? So ZD is built. I almost hate the whole buzzword, but it's like built for developers by developers, right? Like I've heard that so many times now, I don't even want to say it anymore, but it's true, right? So OpenZD is built around a whole bunch of SDKs. As a developer, as a Go developer, like Q said he was, or Quigley, or Michael, sorry, well, all of those things are monikers that we'll give Michael Quigley. uh, um, as a Go developer, having a Go SDK that you can just reach into and just write code without having to really worrying too much about the rest of it, it's super nice. That's really cool. I think it's really exciting. I think that the people that have used it have discovered how easy it was. I do know that later, Ken and I are going to explore. We're going to just play around with Xerox and show some people how to do it. I know Ken's made a few nice videos. I know Michael made a nice getting started video, but we're just going to do it live and play around and just have some fun on this week's Ziti TV. Um, is there anything? I don't want to hold you too long, Michael. I know you got to go, but is there anything else that you wanted to get on the table about Xerox?
The last thing I'll say about Xerox is, we're literally just getting started. This is a 0.3. It's not perfect. It's an early release. There's enough there that we wanted to get it out in front of people. Like, it's exciting. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, but we're literally just getting warmed up. Like, there's a bunch of really interesting stuff to come still. So,
well, that is excellent, Michael. Feel free to hang out.
okay.
I wanted to. What's that? You can hang out. Yeah, cool. What we'll do now is we'll go into the regular Ziti TV type of stuff, which is we'll do some release notes, and then Ken and I are. Where's my PowerPoint? Come on, PowerPoint. There you are. Let's see. Oof, here we go. Here's our agenda for today. always questionable whether I get the slide right. It is February 17th, 2023, so that's good. Ken's flashing the Ziti TV up there. I love it. Let's see. So we're gonna take a look at the release notes for 0.27.5 from Ziti. Let's take a look at those real quick. Shouldn't take too terribly long. Make it bigger. Let's see. I actually committed some code into Ziti this week, which is always surprising. So one of the things that was a problem that I discovered is when I used the Ziti CLI myself on my own self-hosted zrok instance, I noticed that the Ziti CLI was having some troubles with the legitimate certificate authority from Let's Encrypt, and the troubles were just ugly warnings. We would just print out some ugly warnings. So I fixed that. That's cool. We got some bugs in Ziti agent stack versus Ziti agent stats. A very easy bug to make. That was one that Paul and I came across. And then the Ziti controller no longer compares the running version to the latest version from GitHub. One of the things we had a couple of people comment on was, hey, why is Ziti phoning home? Like, it shouldn't phone home. And we're like, what do you mean it's phoning home? It's like, oh, yeah, it's making some network requests. So last year at some point, somebody, I'm not going to point them out unless they want to volunteer, added a check just to see, hey, is this the latest Ziti that's running? And people who are running in an air-gapped environment, that was no good for them. They didn't want to see the network requests. And then other people who are just generally security conscious did not want to see OpenZiti making requests home, quote unquote, home being GitHub. So we also disabled that. So now you won't see that unless you turn it on. And it makes sense to me for the Docker containers and images to have that turned on, but they don't have to have it turned on. It's up to you now. Then some other bug fixes along the way here. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. And that's our release notes. So cool. All right. So next thing, Ken, zrok and Docker. So we started a little bit with an introduction. We haven't really seen zrok work yet, but if you haven't seen zrok work, you can go and check out some YouTube videos, or you can just hang out and watch us. And we're going to actually put zrok and Docker. This also came up relatively quickly, right? Somebody, I think, asked, hey, what about Docker-based zrok?
Yeah, it was one of the early pieces of feedback we got.
I think they wanted to actually self-host in Docker. It's a popular way to self-host things. Just run a container and expose the port, and that's fine.
Well, we don't.
I guess
Do we know what the request was? Like, do we know they actually wanted to self-host zrok, or did they want to just provide access into the Docker world through zrok? I couldn't tell.
I reckon that they want both. So
Oh, sure, yeah.
I've divided my time into two buckets to work on the shares and accesses piece, which is sharing stuff with zrok, running in Docker, versus the self-hosting piece, which is going to come next. And we don't have the videos yet, but I'll probably be working on them today.
Cool. All right. Well, you were going to show us some zrok and Docker. You have done something, right?
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to drive, but I'm prepared.
Oh, no. This is all you, my friend. No, I haven't. I actually, I discovered at 10:50 today, before my delivery of the trim, that I had torn down my self-hosted zrok environment, and now it's dead. So I've got to resurrect it. I was going to have you share, and then I was going to go resurrect this while you were doing that.
All right. Yeah, I can do that. I'll just start sharing my screen here, and we can take a look at. We can get a little preview of what's coming in the next day or two as far as running zrok in Docker. All right, so I'm just going to tidy things a little bit here, and so I can explain what's going on. I'm going to start.
You might need to make the right side just a scooch bigger.
Alrighty. So you can share things privately or publicly with zrok, and we're going to start with a public share. So
what does a public share mean?
It means that you have a private service that you want to expose publicly or publish to everyone with a regular internet URL.
All right, that's what I was wondering. So
Yeah.
anybody on the open internet is able to access that share.
Right.
So
So
we're live now, which means if you share
uh,
something,
yep.
anybody anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem, and
All right, I love it.
I can always get Edward to rotate my token for now if I need to. I've done that twice already. All right, so our guide on the left is about sharing something publicly with Docker, and basically you put your token into an environment file like this, and then you say Docker compose up, and of course you got to have Docker installed. And Docker these days, Docker Desktop comes with Compose, so we can actually show Docker Desktop too while we're doing this, and stuff will come up in our environment. Over here is our zrok environment.
Ooh, we got the UI in there. Nice.
Yeah. So we'll be able to see stuff appearing in here. And it looks like I think I'm allowed to have 5 at one time. All right, so in our guide, we just need to run this command right here. Since we've created this env file, I'm in the directory. I've downloaded the compose file, which is a project file that just spells out all the Docker configuration for running zrok. So I'll just paste that compose up command in my public share directory, and we should get a public share URL from that if the demo gods decide to smile.
I have nothing but faith.
And we see we get a new environment here, and now we're running a zrok test server, and we have a URL right here. So I will paste that into the browser, and we see it doing stuff. We're now looking at the zrok test endpoint, and that's a little web server running inside a container in our little compose project that we just created.
All right, so I think that you have gone too fast for me, Ken. So you have stood up a whole entire Docker world. In that Docker world, it has a private share, and then using zrok, you shared the private thing publicly, and then you accessed it through some staging.zrok.io. Is that what that is up there? Is that what I saw?
Well, private share is not accurate. We're doing a public share. So
Well, no, you have. I said. Well, I tried to say you have a private thing that you're trying to share
yeah,
inside a Docker, and you shared it publicly, right?
right. So this little guy right here, zrok test, that's our demo web server. That's what we're looking at over here. And so that's like a regular workload, a regular server app
And
running
that's
inside a
just
container.
and that came from the Docker Compose file, right?
Yep, and the compose file tells Docker to run that. So it's going to run 2 main containers at the same time. One is your little demo server, and then the other is your zrok public share. And so
Cool.
the public share is this one right here. And it's providing, when it ran, it gave us, let me flip back to the terminal. It gave us that public URL that we could go to from anywhere and access the share. It's kind of wrapping around, but see it blinking right there?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. So that was the last line that came out. And if you look at the guide, it tells you to just look for that last line, and it shows you what it looks like. Where is it?
And
Right
where did you
there.
get that Compose file from again?
In the guide, you just download it right here.
Oh, that's
So
what I
if
missed.
I click that, it's a file, so you can just right click, save as.
Cool. And so, I mean, that was like too easy, honestly. How did you? And the environment file must also have the zrok endpoint in it, or
Well,
do I have
see
to
right here
specify
where
the
I
zrok?
created we create this little file called env, which has the enable token. And so
Yeah.
that's your secret. That's your zrok secret. And so the Compose project was able to enable an environment and save it in your Compose project right here. So if I run this again and again, it'll just keep reusing that same environment.
I see. So you have enabled the environment ahead of time, or
Yep.
did Compose do that for you?
I enabled it when I ran it just now. So I'll run compose up again, and we'll see the public share reappear on this same environment where it was before. And just to clean things up, I'll go ahead and delete the ones we're not using right now.
No, what I'm missing is in your Compose environment, it must be using staging.zrok.io.
Yes.
And where did that get set? How did
That's
that
in the
get set?
compose file.
It's just in the compose file.
You want to
Okay,
see it?
so like,
Yeah.
but normal people who get invites, they're not going to go to staging, right?
Well, yeah, I'll change that before I release the doc so that it just
Okay,
says api.zrok.io.
okay. I'm just I'm trying to catch up. So
Yep.
this compose file hasn't been pushed yet, is what you're saying, right?
Well, it's in a branch. Yeah, we're working off of a branch right here. This is a little preview of what's going to be available later today.
Let me. Okay, that's the part that I was still stuck on. So this
Yep,
is all running your local, your branch itself, not the main branch yet.
that's right. This is Docker Share.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, cool.
So
Well,
now let's
I'm
go
up
to
to
a private
speed now.
share. We just did a public share. Now let's do a private share.
And so, would people? Do you think people would want to share the things that are inside of their Docker world? Is that what you would think they'd want to do? Like, if I self-hosted, say, Home Assistant.
Exactly. Exactly. Now you could make a minor modification to this compose file and share something that's running on your laptop or elsewhere in your LAN, like the inside, like the web UI, the web interface to your router or whatever, or some other VM that you have running with a bridge interface. You can do anything like that. So, and if you're curious, we can take a look at the compose file and where and like how you would do that. You would just change one line. You would need to add one line to your public share piece right here. This is your compose service for the public share. See, it runs zrok. You would
Hmm.
just add network host line to that, and it would instead of sharing the Docker bridge network, it would share the Docker host network. So
And what would that do?
it changes the network perspective, like the network home of the container that's running the public share.
Yeah, and what? But I guess the question I'm asking is why would one do that? What would that do?
Well, if I had a little demo server, like a Docusaurus dev server or whatever running on my laptop on localhost 3000, and I wanted to share that with zrok running in Docker, then I would use network mode host.
And that's so that Docker can basically break out of Docker's little
Right,
Docker jail.
exactly.
Gotcha.
It's a network jail
Yep.
by
Yep.
default. Yeah. So the demo shows you running the demo server inside the network jail, which is a Docker bridge network.
Well,
And you
technically,
could
Bridge will bridge out to the real network, though, right?
Well, there's a
Like you,
bridge interface on the Docker host that gives the host access to the bridge network
right?
and vice versa.
And you didn't share the test endpoint outside of Docker, correct? You when you bring it up, actually, I'm trying to find the line where it might start. When you bring up, actually, it would be in the compose file, right? The ports. I see no ports, so no ports are exposed,
No ports are
right?
exposed, right?
So even from your local machine, that Docker test endpoint you wouldn't be able to access
That's
because it's
correct.
sitting inside of Docker.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Neat.
So you could always forward a port from the Docker host to the container, but I didn't do that because the whole point here is to access it through zrok.
Right, right. And the share is not available even to because of the way that you have started Docker. It's not even available to your own local machine.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm
I
going to go
see.
ahead and cancel the run. Just Control C, cancel that. And as soon as I do that, we see that the share is no longer running. So there's nothing dangling off of that environment, although it's still there. And I'm just going to change over to a different directory here where if you can read that, it says private share.
Yeah.
So I have a,
Quick question: does
yeah,
Docker have like a cleanup step? Can you have it
it does.
zrok disable on the way out?
No, I don't have a way to run like a post hook or something to
Yeah.
run disable, but I can destroy everything locally, and then then re-enabling would actually create a new environment. So if I say down and remove volumes, you see it didn't deactivate the environment, didn't disable it, but the storage is destroyed locally. So if I ran up again, then we get a new environment, and I got to go clean it up in the zrok UI.
Yeah, that's the only like because you had mentioned before that you get 5 shares, right? Or 5
Yep.
environments. So every time you down and up, you'll have to go and do that, right?
That's right. So, but most people are just going to reuse the environment. You're just going to keep
Oh, sure,
setting
sure.
up
Yeah.
over and over, and
Yeah, yeah.
everything's stored inside the project.
Yep. No, I didn't know if Docker had like a post hook kind of thing. That'd be
I
pretty
wish it
neat.
did. I looked
Yeah.
for it. That's what led me to read more about the Docker API, which is impressive how far they've come. So for the private share, we're going to flip over to the private share guide here. And this is just going to tell me to do basically the same thing. Save your environment, your enable token in the environment file, do compose up. All right. So just like before, we're going to share a little demo server, only this time we're going to share it privately instead of publicly. So I'll paste my compose up command there. You can take a look at what it's doing. So I deleted the environment, and so I need to do a down on this to start over. Now it should work. Going to do an enable. It'll show up in here. Takes just a couple seconds to do an enable.
Yeah, it's doing a bunch under the hood there, right? It's making its own Ziti identity and doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
There's
there we
some
have an
cryptography
enabled
involved in
environment.
that.
Yeah, it's got to generate a private key and
Right.
source some randomness and stuff like that. So now you see
Yep.
we've got the very last line here is our private access token. So I'm going to need to take that private access token on my clipboard and follow the next step in the guide, which is private access. Now that we have a share, we need to access it, and we can do that with Docker as well. So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate is providing a proxy for my web browser that's running inside Docker. Did we lose Q?
We wish Q well. No, he had a hard stop. Oh.
Oh, bye, Q.
I gotta take off. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
So the instructions say just keep track of that token, basically. So I'm going to go put that in a note so I can fetch it in a minute. And then we're going to need to run an access. So just like the share, the access is probably running on a different computer because you want to share it privately with somebody somewhere else. So we're just going to use another terminal window down here at the bottom to simulate that. You could run this on your computer and we could share back and forth, but it's all on my screen, so it's a little bit easier to just do it this way.
I don't have the proper enabled environment, right? I would need to enable it.
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and demonstrate running it on my computer here.
I mean, I could always do it.
Yeah.
Want to do it? Let's do it. All I got to do is give me an enable command, right?
Do you already have an environment for staging?
Not for staging, no.
You would need to get signed up or invited there.
Don't I have to just set the API and then you send me the token, or do I need
to have an environment enabled? Yeah. You could use my environment token. You could use my enable token if I send it to you in a private message.
Sure.
And then, so I'll just send you. So you'll be the access then, and I'll be the share here. You're gonna run the access. So you need to go get this Docker share branch, or you can just follow. I can send you the link to the doc, and you can download.
Send me the token, and then I'll share my screen, and we can have both screens on at once.
Alrighty.
And we can watch. We can watch each of us.
All right. I'll send you the token. Now you need to save the contents of that I'm going to send you in a file named .env.
Okay.
So you'll do that inside the project directory that you make. Unless you want to use Git, you can just check out this directory right here.
I don't know if I have. Let me see if I have zrok. I do. Let me get pull first, and then let me do a vi for .env, and then paste this stuff into there, and then right quit, and then clear, and then I can bring my screen on. and then I'm not worried about sharing my screen anymore.
Totally.
All right. And let's see. I can add this to the stream. And then we can do a two-way, maybe. Like do this, and then maybe I'll turn all right, look, it's even underneath each of us. I didn't have
that
to
worked
do
out.
anything, Ken.
Didn't
Look
have
at
to
that.
move
Perfect. How about we turn our video off for a quick second? What do you think? We'll do that, and you do
Alright.
yours, and then it doesn't make a difference,
It's
does
about
it?
the same.
It doesn't
I think
make a
it's fine.
difference.
You
All right,
just zoom way in,
make
yeah.
mine. Yep, I'm just gonna make
Yeah.
it way bigger. All right. So now, what is it that you want me to do?
So you've saved what I sent you, those two
I did indeed.
environment variables.
Now you want me to check
This is
out
what I
some
sent.
branch?
This is what I sent Clint right here. Was these two? Let me zoom in.
Was it actually
So
those two values?
no, it was
Okay, good.
the real values
Good.
for your private access.
I can cat
So
my file if you'd like. I'm just kidding.
you already saved it. So
I did.
make sure you move that .env file into the private access directory under Docker images in my branch.
That's what I need a branch to check out.
Docker share.
Docker share.
Yep.
Move.env into private.
Make sure you're up to date with the latest.
Ted, there's a private folder. Is it under Docker?
It's under Docker images, private access, zrok private access.
zrok and private access.
Yep. So
Just
that's going to
right
save
there?
you. Yep. So that's going to save you from needing to create a project directory and download the compose file because it's already there.
Okay.
So you've got your env file in there. Now you just need to run docker compose up, docker space compose space up.
Let's see.
Oh, so
Compose. That's all right. I got an old version. That's cool. Don't worry about it.
And actually, I misspoke. This is your command right here.
zrok private access?
Yeah.
zrok private access.
It should work with the Docker Compose plugin.
Your Docker Compose file is invalid. It contains an invalid type.
You're using the older plugin, the older Compose plugin. You have
I
an
am.
older Docker.
Why are you using something so new?
Why am I
new and shiny? Do I have to get something new and shiny? Really? Like, why can't I use my old Docker?
I didn't realize the spec had changed, or I would have anticipated that.
Are you probably right? Dorker. I almost typed Dorker. That's funny.
I definitely do that too.
Let's see. Version 3. Yeah, I always use 2 dot something. Just for these kinds of reasons, to be honest.
Well, we actually need the dependency checking to initialize.
Oh, that is a bummer.
But you can, if you want to hack it, you can change the compose file to remove the part it doesn't like, the depends on, and then just run the individual services in the right order instead of using the dependency checking.
What does it not like? Do you know?
Just remove the depends on dictionary.
Doesn't tell me what file.
There's going to be 3 of them, I think, in there in the compose
all
file.
of these?
Anywhere it says depends on.
It's just 2 of them.
All right. Then you're going to need to run things in the right order, since you can't declare the dependencies.
DevOps with Brian stopping by. Hello, DevOps with Brian.
Hey, Brian, I got to say thank you for the project you showed me where you wrote a Terraform plan for Linode. I've been using that, and I'm planning to use that even more for running OpenZiti, demonstrating how to drive Helm charts and stuff. So thank you for that. That was really kind of you and generous to show me that stuff.
Cool. And we do stream on Twitch and YouTube here, so showing the ones is useful for the people on YouTube.
Right on.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So I've done those 2 things, Ken.
Okay. So now your command is going to be similar to Docker Compose up, only you're going to say Docker -compose up and then zrok -enable -init. And you don't need the rest of the zrok private access part on there.
Apparently I need to get with the program here, Ken. Maybe, I don't know if maybe let's see, how am I going to do this? Let's see if I scp.env to cd aws. Maybe my AWS machine is newer. cd aws. and then cd to get. Then what we got? Cd to open Ziti. What we got in there? I don't have zrok in there. Let me get zrok. 1 second. We'll get this sorted. And then cd to open Ziti, cd to zrok, get info. We will git clone this thing. I don't have access to that. All right, I got to go to the HTTP version. Hang on 1 second. We'll make it happen. Coming over here, get the code, get the HTTPS, copy that. Come here, git clone paste, cd to zrok, not O, and then git checkout, and this was Docker. No, not Docker images. What was it called? Docker share? What was the branch?
Docker-share.
Git checkout Docker. If I type it right. And then we're going to cd to Docker images zrok private share. And then we're going to copy env to here. And now I'm going to do Docker compose up. And then let's see, what was it that Ken told me to do? Docker compose up, and then what, bud? Zrok access share, private access. What was it?
Zrok enable-init.
No. I'm on a new Docker space compose. I'm going to try to do it in a new world.
Okay. Do you have you have the regular compose file, not the modified one?
Correct.
Okay. Then yeah, zrok private access.
Private access. No such service. Zrok private. Yeah. You got to put a hyphen there, not a space.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Zrok private access.
Oh, you're in the wrong directory. Go over to zrok private access.
Oh, I'm in share. Oh. Private access. I got to move that M file to here. Zrok private share to here. And now, look at that. It's newer. Out here is newer.
At least it parsed, so we'll see if you are able to enable did not complete successfully. So yeah, doesn't look like I have an enabled environment for you. Did you copy the env file into place?
Let me cat it somewhere else. Hold please.
All right.
At env. No such file. What happened? Copy. You know what? I'm going to just take just SCP it up there one more time. Okay. Env. Yep. SCP. This to cd. cd.env. cd aws. At path. SSH to cd aws. And then we will cd back to where we were. Git zrok. Git and open Ziti zrok. And Docker images, I think, and then zrok private access. env clear. All right, we're back. Oops.
All right.
We're back. Let's see. Docker compose. Oh, do I have to down now?
No, you can run the exact same command you did before.
Zrok private access. Bam.
There you go.
And so on the left, for anybody who's new, you're seeing my screen. On the right, you're seeing Ken's screen.
There we go. Your environment just showed up.
Oh, look at that. How exciting. All right, so now I've got to make a new window because, look at that.
There's a bug fix coming in the next release to clean up that output.
So if I curl to local, that's not, no. Let's see. I can't scroll up now. Let's see. It won't let me scroll. Can I just Control C and turn it on again?
Yep.
I've apparently missed some output. Let's try this again. Okay. It looks like if your terminal window is too small, it doesn't like it. Is that true? Like I can't. Is there more output than I should be seeing than this, Ken? Kitty cat's coming to say hi. Gotta love a cat on stream. You're muted, my friend. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. There's a bug fix coming in the next release to clean up that output. So the next step in the guide for you when you're accessing it is to point your browser or at the localhost 9191
Oh,
address.
because it's running as a proxy. That's what it is.
Right.
So it's telling me what IP address and what port it's listening on, right?
Right.
Cool. Well, looks like DevOps Brian says he's going to try and mess around with OpenZiti on my home setup. Yes, as you should. Can I run this on a
Totally.
Kate's Pi cluster?
Totally. Yeah, it's pretty lightweight. And there
All right.
are ARM32 and ARM64 binaries available for pretty much everything.
So I have up on the top here, I have my zrok private access running. Down on the bottom here, I have curled to localhost 9191. Now, mind
Do
you,
it
this
again.
is, yep, sure. Clear, curl.
There's your request coming through in my log.
See that? How neat is
Yeah.
that, right? Like so easy, so easy. Very cool.
Now on my private share side, I can if I control C cancel, then it's going to generate a new token. So I'm just actually gonna leave it running for right now.
Okay.
But I'm going to do a little surgery on the server side. So I'm going to change this. Since you're going to do the private access, I'm going to throw away this directory. And instead, I'm going to go into the same directory as my middle pane there, which is my private share project.
Yep.
And I'm going to modify what the Docker Compose says. So instead of private sharing HTTP bin test, is that what I'm sharing? Is that what you were getting back?
I mean, it looks,
yeah,
yes, yep, right there. Yep.
You are getting back HTTP bin, yeah. So you can actually go ahead and do it. You can curl something HTTP bin, like basically send a webhook or do /get. Yeah.
What's a good easy? There's a good
go.
easy one.
So you're talking to my API right there.
That's really neat. That is so
And
cool.
if I wanted to change that and point it at a different server, I could just change what's being shared right here. I'd need to recreate the container that gives me a new token. So you'd have to access that, but you can just swap out whatever you're sharing.
So from our agenda, I would say we have covered zrok and Docker relatively reasonably.
Yeah, totally.
Do you want to try zrok and Kubernetes, or is that too ambitious?
No, I think it's very doable. Have you ever used Compose with a K?
I've never used Compose with a K.
It gives you a head start converting a Compose file into a Kubernetes manifest.
Shall I apt install that?
Well, I don't know
or download it.
What is the best way? Yeah, let's just look up
I can go
Compose install.
I can go to the internet and figure that out.
Compose. Yeah, looks like they've got it covered in the docs.
Curl.
You can build it for Go, or you can do yum install.
I just curled it.
All right, cool.
And then chmod plus x compose. Got it.
All right.
Curl for the win. Yes, sir.
So you've got, just curl it. Everything will be fine.
That's all I got to do, right? Just use curl. All right.
So you're going to need to run that Compose CLI that it provides.
You might move to the place where Docker Compose was.
Yep. Or just copy that file somewhere. But it looks like the command is compose, convert, and then the compose file path.
You want me to do the private image, the private share one? Private access one, I mean?
Yeah, let's do the private share first, because that way we can do a Well, let's do the public share. That'll be good for today.
So we'll go to zrok public share. Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll run compose with a K, convert.
Oops, I gotta like move it to this directory or something.
Yeah.
Compose.
Do you already have like a kube config on this box that you can use?
Oh goodness, no.
Okay. So you're going to need a cluster. You're going to need a Kubernetes cluster.
I'm going to need kubectl then too. I don't even have that either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to need
Nor Minikube, but I can fire up Minikube. You want me to fire up Minikube?
Sure, that works.
All right, let's get out of here then. This is out on my that's out on Amazon there. So I need to go get compose again. Let me copy that and drop it over here. And chmod plus x compose. All right, and then you wanted me to. All right, I gotta go to open Ziti and then zrok and then pull, make sure, and cd2 Docker images and zrok public share, and now I can run compose. All right. So now let me fire up. I'm going to start Minikube and then Minikube. All right. Minikube is starting.
All right.
So shall I run compose?
Yep. This is just going to do a conversion on the file to hopefully give us a usable Kubernetes manifest.
Do I have to give it help or
compose, convert, and then the compose file?
Then the compose file. Unknown argument, docker-compose. Must want a dash file. There it goes. Chug, chug, chug. Off it goes.
So it actually gave us several files. They gave us a separate file, a separate Kubernetes manifest file. Oh yeah, thanks Brian.
Yep.
For each of the services in the compose file. That's cool.
Indeed. All right. So shall we kubectl apply one of these things, or what are we doing next?
Let's get them into an editor, and we're gonna need
all of them.
Well, we're gonna need to do these. We're gonna need to figure out the right order in which to do these.
Okay.
Let's see. So we've got a storage claim, a PVC right there in the middle, persistent volume claim. Brian on Twitch says hasn't used that in a while.
We'll just do this, Ken. Boom.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's like it gives you a running start on writing all the Kubernetes manifests that you're going to need. So
now what do we...
I'm thinking about the storage. Like there's two ways we could store the environment stuff. We could either do it with secrets or storage. Let's do storage for now because it's going to be quick and easy. And that's the way zrok already works. It thinks it has a like a whole directory with it where it can read and write stuff. So we'll just make a storage volume for that.
I don't see a storage file in there. So
yeah, the persistent volume claim is going to describe the storage needs.
Okay.
I'm going to make your screen a little bit bigger.
Yep.
I can see it so much better now. So let's look at the persistent volume claim to see what it says.
What persistent volume claim? It's this guy right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Just need to get familiar with the stuff that it generated, so I get my Kubernetes thinking cap on. So it's going to give us 100 megabytes using whatever the Kubernetes default storage is, and it's going to be named zrok env. That's fine. So that's a reflection of our Docker Compose volume. That's great. All right, let's look at the next one.
Which one is the next one? Which one?
It's a little bit tiny. You can't.
No, I know that is. I'm going to go back over here.
Oh, there we go. Thanks. So I know we're going to need, and we're not going to have to worry about the init. We can probably just delete that, but might as well keep it around for now because we don't have the same volume permission problem in Kubernetes that I was trying to overcome with that step. So let's go straight to zrok enable deployment.
This one right here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this spec is going to scroll down to where it says image. Spec container. Oh boy. That's good. Yep. And does it mount the right volume? Looks like it does. Cool. And down at the very bottom of this, does it get the volume from the right place? Yep. All right. Wow. This is perfect so far. We can just use it. Brian was like, why don't you just, can you not just apply it like it is? And it would probably be, maybe it would be fine. I just didn't have faith. You want to try it?
Ken's so safe. Yes,
Yeah.
very safe. All right.
I was really curious. I guess I don't trust the tool completely yet.
Kubectl. Apply -F. We've got to do both of them in a row here, right?
Yeah, let's do them in order. Let's create the, see if it'll take that one.
Okay, that worked.
All right.
Then we'll do this one.
The enable deployment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Shall I go and watch the pods at the same time? You want to do that?
Well, now I'm not sure where it's going to get your enable token from. Like that probably needs to be in a secret. Can we look at the enable deployment YAML again? I forgot to check on the secret or the
enable deployment YAML.
Yeah, there should be an environment variable.
It's right here.
Am I looking right at it?
Hang on, let me find the word env in here because I can only see like 10 lines at a time.
Yeah.
There we are.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So where does it get that? Oh no, it doesn't have the token environment.
Yeah, it's going to need a secret, right?
I think we're going to need to do a kube control create secret, and just give it a name like enable token.
Can I cat the whole file, or can I push the whole file in? Because like I have
the file. Oh, that's right. You do have the file. Yeah, you can do a create secret from file, and that'll give us both of the secrets that we need for. Well, that'll give us. So we only need the first line from your env file, which is the enable token.
Hang on, I can't find it now.
In the secret.
I gotta go find it. Hang on 1 second. Where did I put it? Actually, I just go back and I'll make it again. You sent it to me 2 seconds ago, so making it easy enough. I.env. I don't know where I moved it to. Whatever. All right.
It was in the private access.
I made it again. So
okay.
I'll just litter my whole file system with your private tokens.
All right.
So you want me to do kubectl create secret?
Yep. It's going to be create secret generic.
.env. Is it going to echo this to the screen? Kubectl create secret generic zrok enable token from, sadly I can't copy and paste that. Remember? Let's see.
Yeah, but it's not that much to type.
Oh, you're going to make me do it. All right, fine. You're going to watch me type it. Kubectl create secret generic zrok enable token from file
Brian
equals.
Brian on Twitch says we should just YOLO it.
That's exactly Brian. I'm with Brian. Ken's very safe though. Very safe.
Yeah.
All right.
I want it to work.
Error reading.en. Yeah, you got to spell it with the period properly here, champ. Let's .env. Nope, right there. There it goes. All right, token created.
Cool. So now we should have. If that worked the way that I hope it did, then we'll have. Can you do a kube control describe secret on that? So that gave us data of env, and it encoded everything. So yeah, we need to replace that after we format the file.
Do you want me to just do this in a different window and use?
Yeah, just do it in another window. We need to just format the env file so that it's key : value instead of key equals value.
Oh, Easy peasy.
Yeah,
I got, oops.
an object.
Easy peasy, and then I screw it up. All right, X insert colon. Okay, recreate the secret, or do I have to delete it first?
Yeah, you can do kube control update secret. No, you can't. Is it apply? Is it?
Well,
There
we're
you go.
deleting it. Okay.
All right, now do a describe.
Where's that describe? I was looking for that. I'll run it somewhere else just in case. Why does it still say .env?
Oh,
that's right.
Gosh, I don't remember exactly how to do this. Sorry.
It's all right. Do you want to just like have me make it from text as opposed to a file? Like, can I just install a secret? You know what
I
I mean?
know you have to say key equals value when you say from file, but I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to
let's not do it
remember.
from file. Let's just make it. I'll make it in another window.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. So you can do create secret, and then how is it done? So you just give it a
Q secret
secret
generic.
help. So you give it a name,
Right.
and then Brian's got the answer
From env
right
file
here.
is the difference. See that?
From env file. Thanks, I was struggling with that. So generic, and then name, and then from env file. How does that work?
And then, so when I did that, it said I got to put the colons out there again because it told me that the zrok colon enable token was wrong.
Okay.
Let me go put the equals back since it's now an
Yeah,
env file.
it's expecting key equals value for env file.
Yep, which makes sense. All right, so now let's do
we got
this.
it.
I'm gonna look at this describe again.
Yep.
That looks better.
Nice. All right. So we can reference those in
Brian for the win. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah. Yep. Now we have the discrete values that we can reference, and we're only going to need the enable token for this. So let's modify the enable deployment.
Meaning this right here, and I need to do this. I want.
Yep, but we're going to need to that is going to be, so we're going to need to do 2 edits in this file. And so all the way down at the bottom where it says volumes.
So there is already a zrok enable token in here. See that?
Let me take a look.
If I undo my edit and I go back, this was here already.
At the very bottom where it says volumes.
Yep.
We're going to need to add a list item here for
in volumes like this.
Under volume. Yep. We're going to need to add another list element there. And that is going to look like, I'm referencing exactly how to do this. So it'll have a name. Its attributes will be name and secret.
Oh, right. I remember now. Yep.
Well, its attribute key names will be name and secret. And the name will be like enable secret, and then the value of secret will be a dictionary.
The name is the secret name or the word secret.
Okay, so the value of name is enable secret, or in something like that. There you go. And then the next property that we need to define is secret, and it's at the same level as name. It's another, there you go. And so on the next line, indent, and we'll give it the value here is a dictionary, not a list. So without the hyphen, just secret dromedary case secret name, secret upper name. There you go. And then this will be the what was it? The actual name of the secret: zrok enable secret, zrok dash enable secret.
With no space.
A colon here, and then
Yeah.
a space, and then
Yeah, that's what I thought.
zrok dash enable dash secret. If that was
all
in
uppers?
fact, if that was in fact the name, you need a space after the colon too, to make it YAML. When you did create secret, was that the name?
It's the name. Oh, no, zrok enable token.
Token. There you go.
It's hard because I'm looking at two different screens here. I gotta find the right screen. Come on over here.
Attention
Token.
too.
There it goes. All right.
All right. Now our final edit will be up a ways. We're going to, under the env section, we're going to add a list item here for the token. There you go. So the name will be like all uppercase Ziti underscore enable underscore token. There you go. And instead of value, it's going to be value from with an upper F. And on the next line, we'll indent and type secret key ref. So that's secret upper key upper ref colon. And then on the next line, indent again and give it a name colon. This will be the name of the that we gave it below, like zrok enable token. And then another value at the same level as name. If you next line, this key is the word key colon, and then all uppercase zrok enable token again. There you go.
Save.
Yes, save.
Apply.
So now, and now let's do an apply on this manifest and watch the pod logs come back.
You want to watch the logs? Oh, wait,
Well,
we got
they won't
this
be
guy
available.
appears. Did you notice this?
They won't be available until after you apply, because it's going to terminate that one that's in crash loop back off and start another one.
Apply zrok enable deployment. Ready? Boom.
Ready.
Doesn't exist. Hang on one second. Where am I? What? Zero CD minus? Yeah. Goes. Configured. Running. Error. Running. Crash loop back off.
All right, let's take a look at the logs and see what it's unhappy about.
Appears to be unauthorized.
Maybe we used all the environments and I need to go delete some of them.
Shall I stop this or watch the cat jump? All right. And then do you want me to stop this or let it go?
It doesn't look like we were all out of environments, so I'm just studying the log here. zrok enable, it ran the right thing, and it definitely did get the token. I can see that the little mask there means that it found a token that matched the right pattern.
Here, you mean?
Yeah, of 12 consecutive characters.
Yeah.
Non-space characters. And zrok responded, there's a problem enabling the environment.
Could it be that the token is not it's base 64 encoded or something along those lines?
It should automatically decode the secret value. Yeah, it should absolutely decode the secret value. And you definitely deleted that pod that's in crash loop back off, or did it do it automatically when you did apply?
It seemed to have done it by itself, but we can do all this again, right?
So there's a new one. go into error, running, error, crash loop back off. Okay. It's not enabling, so I don't know what the problem is with the secret. You might have to debug it by off screen by looking at the secret YAML. Do like a
Yeah.
get secret YAML.
kubectl get
Yeah.
secret tab. There's only one, right? Zrok enable token -o YAML. The token is in the clear, and it is not correct. The token is not correct.
Does it look
Here,
like a base64 encoding?
that's base 64 minus d paste. How do you do the base 64 minus d? I thought that was going to work. It does look like base 64 encoding. It has no equals at the end, but it must be right on the money.
Yeah, well, you
from
only get
length.
the equals at the end if you don't match the 4-byte
The padding.
interval.
Yeah.
The padding.
Decode data. I thought I could just paste the data with no file.
It should take it from standard in.
Yeah. I'm not with no file, or when file is hyphen read standard input. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm just pasting it. Do I have to left arrow that? Okay. It does look like the right value, and it is
Okay.
base 64 encoded, and it's the enable token that I right.
Yes.
Like that's not the access token. Yeah.
The enable token.
Yep.
Right. Try to do a
Oh
public
no!
share.
It looks wrong. It's the access token. Did I get the wrong one? Did I copy?
Maybe they got swamped.
Yeah. I'm checking that right now. The enable token begins with RA. Okay. Yep.
Yep,
It's
that's
correct.
Right.
It's
so
correct.
It was right.
Yep, it is correct.
Mystery.
I mean, I should be able to run this right here, just locally. Let's try zrok disable.
Yes.
I got a zrok set API endpoint. Do you have that command handy?
I do. It's zrok config set.
Yep.
And then API endpoint, all one word, but uppercase E on the endpoint.
Yep.
And then the URL.
Which is https://API.
Yeah, it's on your screen right here in the middle. HTTPS API staging.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. API.staging.zrok.io. Okay, and now zrok enable stuff in the enablement token. There is a problem in your environment. I mean, if you should just run that right up, like you could run that locally too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. I wonder what the deal is.
Like all of a sudden, we just can't run it for some reason.
Maybe, I mean, it is staging.
Is that an O on the end or a 0?
That is a 0 on the end.
Okay.
It is staging, so could be staging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could use production instead, the actual one.
I just got mine to enable with that token.
That worked for you?
Yeah.
Why is with exactly what I sent you?
Yeah, I just pasted it in my terminal.
So the set endpoint didn't work for me.
Let me double check the command that I usually run for that. Zrok config set API endpoint uppercase E.
Yep.
And then the URL.
Yeah, my API endpoint is not changing. That's the difference. It says
Oh,
Zrok configuration
it only
updated.
takes effect after a disable.
I did. Well, when I try to disable it, it's telling me that the connection is refused. Oh, maybe that's why. It's not.
Because your instance isn't there anymore. So you have to delete
You
.zrok.
So you can't delete it. You can't disable an instance once it is turned
Right.
off. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Zrok. It's just environment.
Just delete .zrok completely, if you don't mind.
For you, Ken, anything, buddy.
It's easy. I know it works.
Move Zrok to
That's
Zrok
fine. Yeah.
backup. Let's do a Zrok enable. Do with that token that you just gave me. I got to set the endpoint first. Config set endpoint. Okay, and now enable. Oh, it also helps if you spell staging correctly. I spelled it staging. Enable, chug, chug, chug. Off it goes. Contacting the Zrok service. It's chugging. Yeah,
There it goes.
that did work. So the token works.
Yep. And now you did a disable, right?
I did indeed.
I was having
No
fun
wonder.
playing with that environment and took it away.
I'm sorry. I know I ruined your fun, Ken.
You did.
But you know what? You can have some fun again.
All right. Yeah.
Not too much fun. Not
All
too
right.
much fun. All right. Well, I wonder why it's not working then. Let's see. We got the right api.staging.zrok.io.
For sure.
It is HTTPS. Unable to open Zrok. That's no big deal. That's just a warning. Contacting the Zrok service. Does it need to be run headless or something like that? Like, is there?
Well, that should be part of the deployment command.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in there. I'm pretty sure I
And
remember
you
seeing
actually
it in
got
there.
an unauthorized response back from the API.
Well, that's a good point. It did have an unauthorized response. It has headless in there
So there
somewhere.
must be something wrong with the token.
You mean in the Kubernetes world, right?
Yeah, but it's perplexing because obviously it did get a value, or you wouldn't even see headless star 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 star
Well,
up there where it said where it,
does this have to match a secret? Otherwise, it doesn't do that.
the regular expression is 12 consecutive non-space characters, which matches a zrok enabled token.
Is it just, does it match it just because of happenstance, or is it always 12 characters even if it was tomato, or is
I've
it?
only seen well, we don't have vanity enabled tokens yet, so it's always 12 characters from what I've seen. But this will match 12 or more. So I just thought it's very unlikely that we'll reduce the length of the enable token.
Could it be something about the image? Whatever the image is from?
It's exactly the same image. And we can see it running in the expected way. We can see it running the expected command. Zrok enable.
Can I give it a verbose?
You can, yeah.
How do I do that?
In the deployment that we were looking at, go to where it says command. And see where it says a little bit down. Well, see where it says args, actually.
Well, see, this is what I was wondering. Like, does it just do this by happenstance? Is it?
It will not do that unless it gets an arg that is 12 consecutive non-space characters. So see up above where it says args, right above command.
Oh, I'm going to click on the right place. Args, right above command. Yep.
So right under headless, you can add a verbose. But I'd put it right under headless. There you go.
Just yeah. Well, all right. So there's nothing extra. Huh.
Nothing extra?
No, it didn't. It didn't report anything extra. Like this should be.
Did you do an apply?
Oh, I have to apply it. Right. Kubectl minus F apply. What was this thing called?
The enabled deployment.
Yeah, but I was looking for the. Where did all the Kubernetes files go? Kubectl -f. No. Apply -f. Verbose now.
Yeah.
Nothing extra.
Hmm.
Huh. Could it I mean it's gotta be able to contact it, right? Like it made it there and it made it back and it just
It got
failed.
the response. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
active rejection.
It's gotta be something
Not
goofy.
authorized.
Let me see. What did I do before base 64 encoding that token? I did a kubectl get secrets. Paste. I just want to see if it happens to be 12 characters long. Rock enable token. Show. YAML. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's like 14 characters long. It's not, well, weird. Stymied. We got stymied, Ken.
Yeah, and normally I don't have to do anything extra to decode the secret. If I mount a secret as an environment variable, then it's plain text as an environment variable.
Huh.
All I can think of is that maybe we typed the wrong value for either the volume spec or the mount spec.
Let's see. zrok enable token is the name of the secret. Where's my mouse?
Oh, you know
zrok.
what? There's a little bit of weird syntax there in the way it converted from the compose file. I just noticed that. Well, I think that's probably a good place to focus instead of. I think most likely that's the problem. Back up there where it said args in the container spec near command. Yeah, see how it's $ and then open close parens? There you go.
Have that?
Yeah. Can you scroll down a little bit to the command part so we can just double check that the same problem doesn't exist? See where it says double $ on line 43 and 44. Yeah, I think both of those are invalid for Kubernetes. Yeah.
You want me to
At the
find all of
very
them?
end and see the end of the line. There you go. Yeah.
Yep, that's all of them.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Apply that.
Yeah.
Ken, you did it, buddy.
No, it's not right yet.
Ah,
Something
bummer.
else is wrong.
Here, let me make this a bit smaller so I can actually look at it on my screen and see what happens. If there's anything else that looks goofy in here.
I wonder if the way that the OCI, well, the way that the container runtime is parsing those args and command is different somehow. Maybe the syntax isn't right for Kubernetes.
Want to look at the file too?
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to you. You can look at it on your side.
All right. And this is our enable deployment.
Yep. Should it mount to /mount/zrok, or should it go to home? The
Mount
mount
is
points.
fine.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you're setting it sets home on line 47 there. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let me bring this over here.
That's where it's mounting our PVC.
Yeah, I just know that zrok needs to find it in home, but as long as we're setting home,
Yeah.
then it won't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, is it do I have to reference enable secret, not zrok enable token?
Yes, you do.
No, but like up here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the secret key ref needs to be enable secret.
Like this, right?
Yes.
That's where we went wrong.
So how did we even get a value at all? We should have gotten a Kubernetes error. Well, maybe we did get a Kubernetes error in the describe and just didn't notice it. Do a describe to look at the events on that.
Enable secret not found this time.
Huh.
This is the name and this is the secret name, and then you reference the secret down here. I thought that was right.
Well, maybe I've just misunderstood, and it's not. Maybe it's not necessary to declare the secret in the volume spec if you're not going to mount it as a file.
Okay.
If you're going to mount it as an environment variable, I guess you just give it the regular secret key.
I should be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Zip it out and then come over here, enable, do that, describe.
Yeah.
What's the error?
So that's a valid deployment, meaning we don't need to declare the volume spec.
It must not be getting the token correctly, though.
It must not.
That's the only thing.
Something else. And when you look at the YAML, like somehow it's trying to use the.
You know what I'm going to do, Ken? I'm going to take out the sed. I'm going to bring this off screen, and I'm going to just let it spit it out.
Oh, good idea. Yeah. So at least you can see.
Yeah. So
what
over
it's
here,
really trying to run.
Over here, I'm not going to do this.
I'm betting it's somehow the base64 encoding instead of the actual secret.
And I want, at this point, I can echo the $zrok enable.
Well, actually, no, that's not correct.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's fine actually. Yeah, it'll tell us what we need to know, but it'll tell us. Yeah, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
You seem hesitant.
No, that gives us the clue that we need. That's good.
All right, and it's using 1, 2, 3. It is good, except it's right.
Really?
It is the proper value. Yes.
Hey, welcome back, Brian, on Twitch.
We're
trying to figure out why the secret value is correct, but the API is saying you're not authorized. When the same secret, like we can run it locally and it's fine, but for some reason in Kubernetes it says 401.
I mean, that is the value which you have given to me and which I have run zrok enable.
It's totally correct. Yeah, the secret is right.
I'm going to do it again, and it's working. Yeah. That is so bizarre. Yes, we are verifying the secret is right. Exactly. zrok disable. So it's getting the correct secret. It's so what we did is we're just emitting the zrok enable token now, just straight up. And I'm going to undo that now because let's save and I'll go back and I'll apply it. All right. So I've redone, undone, and did all that sort of stuff. So we verified that the secret which it sees is the correct secret which we expect. And we have used the actual secret to enable and disable an environment, and it worked just fine.
Yep. But if you do the log,
Hmm.
then the API, the enable API, is saying rejected.
Hmm. Which we can see right here.
There was a problem enabling your environment. zrok enable headless verbose isn't super verbose.
It doesn't have a whole lot of extra right now. Yeah. You were trying to use api.staging.zrok.io. That's correct. Could it possibly have some data in the container that is, even though this is reporting this value, that the data is wrong? Like, is there any way there's some state that's left over or stuck in that container, which is simply misreporting this to us? It's lying to us. Could it
So
be going to
there's
api.zrok.io instead? Well, it says we can check via export if it's setting the secret on the container. So can I get the environment variables from a running container? Is that
yeah, that must be what export does.
kubectl export?
Yeah, I haven't
No,
used that one.
I don't know where is what is it pods export? What's where? I don't have an export command. Cube exec. Oh, I see. All right. See, that's even, yeah, that's obvious. Kubectl
Yeah, you
exec.
might have to
I see.
change your deployment to like do like a while true sleep or something so that you can actually exec into it without the error.
That's a good point, because it's going to just get rid of it real quickly.
Yeah.
Well, actually, where's the command that it runs?
Maybe
Let's see.
just maybe duplicate the list of containers so the element that is the one that's failing, just duplicate it and make a new container so that you can preserve the what's there.
You want me to make
Yeah,
this whole entire thing,
that's right.
and then change this to while true, while one.
Yeah, you'll need to
That,
use the same kind of list syntax.
oh, with the bash minus c thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can just do while one here, like
Well, you'll
this.
have to preserve that pipe that's the value of the list element. There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can type whatever you want there.
Yes.
Do while true colon do, and then on the next line indent. Oh, that's fine. You can do it all in one line. Yep. And then
And
yeah,
I gotta give it a new
it'll
name.
actually ignore the args. You could tell it to go ahead and just print that token value if you want instead of execing in.
Yeah, I could do that. I was going to just do it off screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. I will apply this now. should see two containers, right? Oh, I got a boo boo somewhere.
It didn't like your deployment.
It does not. It doesn't seem to. It says that it configured it, but it's not making another pod.
Well, there'll be two containers inside the same pod. So you'll just need to run
I gotcha.
the -c command on your
Yeah,
log command
I gotta remember
to target the right one.
how to exec. Kubectl exec. I don't need a namespace. It's called zrok. popping up. Let's see. What was the name of this thing? Enable test, I think. Name. Where's the name? Right there. What am I doing wrong here? Sure. Error from server not found. Pod zrok enable deployment not found. What do you mean? Kubectl get pods. Why? I mean, the zrok enable token in the environment is correct. It is zrok underscore enable underscore token. Let's make sure I typed it right.
Yeah.
zrok underscore enable underscore.
And when you do kube control logs and give it the -c container name for your test container, you should see it.
Oh, I don't want to do it on screen then. We're not printing it out though, right? How would we see it?
Was your shell script not to do a while true echo or something like that?
No. It's just a while true and I exec into it.
Okay. Then you'll need to say echo in the environment variable name.
No, I'm already looking at it. That's what I see that the value is correct.
All right. Yeah, then I have no idea.
I don't either.
I'm so confused as to how.
Oh, all right. So I'm in the container. It's running while one. I can run zrok enable right now.
Yes, you can.
Let's do that.
You should be able to reproduce it.
I'm going to use, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, here, ready? Watch this. I'm going to clear this. Actually, I got to exit because I can't clear this dang container because we're so good about what we do here. All right. So here I am in this container.
Moment of truth.
I'm going to run zrok enable $paste. It won't show me my token, right?
It won't. No, it should be fine. And it's no big deal if we have to rotate it.
What is going on?
It worked.
What is going on, Ken? There's got to be something goofy going on.
Maybe it has something to do with the headless mode.
Weird, huh?
Let me disable that environment that you just created so you can recreate it with headless.
Did it recreate it with headless? You mean without headless?
Just run it again in your terminal with headless and then close standard input.
Oh, shall I zrok disable?
Yeah.
Zrok disable and then enable and headless.
And then less than.
And
then dev standard in. No, I'm sorry, dev null.
Like this.
There you go. Yep.
Oh?
Yep. So you closed standard in and ran it with headless mode.
I mean, it seems like it's
chugging. It worked. I have no idea.
That's bizarre. Well, we've got something to work out.
I'm at a loss. Hey,
how about this? Do you want to fire up? Can we do kubectl and throw up a HTTP bin real quick? Do you have that sort of like how can we demonstrate it working in Kubernetes? Like we know it's going to work, right? Let's just demo. Let's just demo it.
It's going to work. We can fake it, do it manually. So you just need another deployment spec, like another deployment file that has slightly different values.
Another deployment file that has slightly different values.
Yep.
All right. So I'll come over to where is it? Come over to no, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. This is the right one. All right. So you want me to call this deployment 2? Actually, how about we call it Bob? I like Bob better. Right, and then we get rid of all these args. We don't need all these args. We don't need all of this. Right, and in here we're just going to run some other thing.
You don't even, you can just delete the args and the command part
Yep.
and the env part
Yep.
and change the image over to be what I put on the screen.
Okay. Mic mccutchen/go http bin. Yep. We'll call this zrok http bin, and we don't need volume mounts at all, right? Right. There's our whole thing. Actually, let's look at the whole thing.
Your selectors. So change your selector match label.
I'm looking for
let's add a match label on line 14.
Right here.
On line 15.
Yeah.
We're going to need to add a. Actually, Brian, do you know off the top of your head if we can share a pod IP without a cluster service, or do we also need a cluster service to? I think we can. If we just start the server, then we can just share the pod IP, and like just for a momentary test. We don't.
I should be able to just curl to it, right? Just by the name.
Well, yeah, but we got to create a service too. We have to create a service spec in order to do that. I want to try it with just the pod IP. So
all right,
I think that'll work.
Shall I leave all this then? Is that what you're saying?
So yeah, you can ignore what I said about the selector, and we're going to the container, change the name on line 30 to, oh, you already did. And yeah, let's just try that.
Yeah, I thought so. Kubectl apply -f.
So that's going to listen on port 8080 when we get it working.
Yeah, what did I do wrong there? Invalid type, pod spec, got map, expected array. Invalid type.
Can we look at the value of containers again?
Containers.
Oh, you're missing a hyphen on line 29.
Here?
Yep. There you go.
Okay. Oh, why did it terminate this? Did you expect that?
I think you might have used the same deployment name. Up at the top where it says metadata label, there should be an annotation. There should be a metadata name. There it is.
Right here,
yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's try this again.
There we go.
And I should have gotten kicked out of here. Yep.
So you'll have to do your exec all over again.
Yeah, it's still not coming up though for some reason. And it says 1 out of 2, which it should not say.
Why did you delete the enable container from that pod?
I reapplied the zrok enable deployment because I had expected it to clean up after itself, but apparently I got to delete something else because it's got 2 pods in it then, right? Or 2 containers in the pod.
That's right.
Oh no, never mind. It had 2. I don't think I removed it.
You had the test and the enable container in the enable pod, which is fine. You can just exec into the test container. So you have 2 deployments now, right? One for enable and one for test? Yeah.
Publisher. I got rid of the other one. Zrok public share, right? That's what I ran. So, let's see. Apply. Oh, I opened the wrong file. Okay, so that's why there's 2. Okay. And And it's okay. All right. And now I got to exec back in over here. Right. And then zrok enable $zrok enable token. That already knows it's enabled. zrok disable, which I suppose makes sense. zrok enable, off it goes.
Well, when you duplicated that pod, I mean that container, it should actually have used the same storage.
I did.
Yeah.
Cube Cedal pods. Oh no, I want to describe pod, right? How do I get the IP address again?
Do get pods.
That's so.
And if it
Yeah.
doesn't show up, then give it a -O wide.
All right.
There you go.
So I want it to curl to this URL, right? From inside of here.
That's the when you do your when you run your share command. That's what you're sharing. Is that?
Yeah, I wanted to, but to your point before, I wanted to test that I could get to
make
the
sure you
HTTP.
can actually get to port 8080.
Yeah. Oh, it's port 8080.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So there we go. So now we know that will work.
Yep.
All right. So now I can do a zrok share
public. Yep, that should work.
Bam.
Boom.
Bam. Now everybody in the world can go there. How neat is that, Ken? That is so neat.
Work.
That is so neat.
You just have to figure out how to pass the secret through.
Okay, what happens if let's see. Anybody else want to click it? Click it.
Can I click? I can't click it.
Well, if you go to Twitch, you could probably click it.
Yeah. Or on YouTube anyway.
Or on YouTube, right? So,
yeah.
Let me see. I can split my screen here, and I can do a curl to this, and we can see that it get come in like this. And if I go to get, and I see my get, look at that. How neat. If I go to post, it should tell me some sort of error, but you can see it's going to post. Super neat stuff, Ken. All right. Well, this was a long Ziti TV, but that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Very
I'm gonna see if I can go there as well. Is it still running? Yep, I can go there. Brian, if you want to try to go there, I'll put it in the Twitch chat too. So that's running in the pod. We just did like basically a zrok ingress for
to my mini cube.
To your mini cube, to Clint's mini cube, yeah.
So neat, so neat. All right. Well, I think that's a great place to stop our Ziti TV. It was cool to see zrok providing ingress into Kubernetes like that. That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Anybody who watched, thanks for sticking it out. I know it was a bit longer than a normal Ziti TV, but that was a good time.
Yeah.
And we'll see everybody the next time.
All right.